Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage, all got perspective. It's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is, where the heart's uncovered, where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. When them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yeah, peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal, breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe, so down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah, aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing. And watch it all rise, the righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring. Because it's unseen, the mind is too barren. They won't even heal it, they pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Life that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Could fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Could fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Hey. Yeah. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental how clean as a whistle. Attention's a trap that can lead you astray. Sneering this shit through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt of disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. Who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen.
It's on you, tell the truth.
Peace. Family, tonight's conversation is personal. Sometimes we don't realize how much pain people are carrying behind the smiles, behind the messages they send. They showed, I apologize. Something really serious happened to me. And I'm going to try to maintain composure while doing this. Tonight, we're talking about scars people carry in silence and the different timelines we all walk through while healing. We're gathering for a conversation called Same Scars, Different Timelines. Before we begin, we want everyone to know that this is a safe space, no judgment, no comparison, no pressure to have all the answers. Tonight it is about understanding that although people may carry similar wounds, their healing journey can look completely different. Some people are healing from childhood experiences. Some are healing from relationships. Some are healing from loss, abandonment, betrayal, addiction, homelessness, grief, or simply years of carrying responsibilities no one else could see. Tonight is not about measuring pain. It's about honoring the courage it takes to keep moving forward. We're the ears that will listen, where your opinion matters. I just want to do something real quick before I let go to an ego read the deeper meaning. I want to push some positive energy and high vibrations to somebody extremely really close to me right now, because they are in a dark place right now, extremely dark place. They have been dealing with PTSD and whatnot for years, and no one sees them. No one really truly sees them through the pain, and they think that, they're not walking in their shoes, that they're doing it alone. And I want people to know, if you feel like you're alone and you have no one to talk to, please let somebody know. Even me, even if I'm a stranger to you, please contact me, because I want you to know that it's better to have somebody else understand, overstand, let alone to feel like nobody else gets you. So I just want to let you know, please reach out to me. Go ahead, Golden Eagle. I got to turn the lamp on behind me. Will you read the deeper meaning for me, please?
Yeah. When we see someone smiling, working, posting online, or simply getting through their day, we often assume we know their story. The truth is, many people are carrying scars that are invisible to the world around them. What makes healing complicated is that there's no universal timeline. Two people can experience something very similar and respond completely differently. One may heal in months, another may need many years. One may speak openly about their pain, another may carry it in silence. Healing is not a race. Growth is not a competition. Recovery is not measured by speed. The goal is not to become who you were before the wound. The goal is to become who you are, or who you are after surviving it. Sometimes our scars become our wisdom. Sometimes our pain becomes our purpose. Sometimes the very thing that almost broke us becomes the thing that allows us to help someone else. The deeper question tonight is this: can we allow ourselves and others the grace to heal without comparing timelines? Let's have a good conversation.
If anybody knows D Beats, Tycoon on the Beats, anybody know him, reach out to his family and tell him to check on him. I just want to pass that out. If anybody's listening that knows that individual, please check on him. What is something you survived? Because I'm about to write a book on this, and I want to know what everybody's opinions are and what their story is, because I want to let the world know healing don't come with a script. Healing don't come with a blueprint saying this is how it's supposed to look. Healing don't come with a timeline. Healing don't come with obligations, and sometimes it don't come with tools. Sometimes it's lessons learned and stumbled behavior before you even get to the point of knowing what you have to fix. For me personally, I didn't even realize that I had that much problems because I suppressed so much. I didn't realize I had that much trauma until I started sitting with myself and really realizing that I was dealing with a lot. So I want to ask everybody, what is something you survived that most people never knew you were carrying? Golden Eagle.
That's a hard one, I guess, because I'm probably one of those people that just carries it with me. I guess the first thing I think of is probably the same thing that all of us have dealt with at some point, but it's heartbreak. I mean, I've had my heart broke in more ways than one. Even obviously, like as a parent, obviously our kids can break our hearts at times. That's happened a time or two. Obviously in relationships, and I've always kept it. I've always kept it pushing. With My heart might have been crumbled, but I just kept it pushing. I always tried not to show it, I guess, but heartbreak, that's definitely something that I've carried in the past, and like I said, I kept that to myself though.
Ask Jeff Graham, what's something you survived that most people never knew you were carrying?
Hey, he stepped out. He'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Kendall, what's something that you carry that most people, and I was going to say, ask Jeff Graham, you got a really pretty voice tonight, but I get it. That was Mariah. Kendall, what is something that you've carried that you survived that no one knew that you were carrying it?
I would say depression. It still lingers in the background.
I'm going to answer mine very transparent because people don't realize, because they don't see my scars and they don't see my low days, that I've utilized this platform. I've utilized all of you guys. This is my therapy. So I'm going to be really transparent right now. My mom kind of molested me, like touched me inappropriately more than once and made me feel, and allowed guys to stare at me very uncomfortably. And I'm going to say that what I carried for so long that a lot of people didn't know was protection of my personal space. I never had protection over my personal space. There was no area that was off limit to somebody else. I didn't feel I was sacred ever. So yeah, that's what I carry. I had no emotional safety ever since I was little. SGF Graham, are you back?
He is not.
Do you want to answer it, Mariah? What is something you carry that no one knows? And nobody on here knows you, so it's not going to be anything.
What do I carry that no one knows?
No one knows that you carried it.
I'll probably say, yeah, depression. Nobody knows.
Okay. I can receive that too. That's something that nobody really goes around saying, hey, guess what? I felt like taking myself out today. And I'm not talking about on a date. Nobody's going to walk around and say, I'm pretty depressed right now and I don't know why I'm still here. Really. So I can see that. I've dealt with that too.
Okay.
That's Jeff Graham, you back?
Yes, I am.
You may not want to answer this.
I may not if she already answered it.
Yeah, but she didn't answer on behalf of you. It says, what's something that you survived that most people don't know you were even carrying it?
See, I just want to repeat whatever I wrote in the group chat, but I don't remember the rhyme scheme I had.
I don't either. I don't know. Can you go back and look?
But self-degradation. That was the biggest one. Self-degradation caused by me taking the people's opinions over my facts. That was the surviving myself, surviving my own inner thoughts. That was the biggest one, and surviving the positive talk from loved ones that didn't understand that it was really casting doubt kind of talk.
I feel that. Man, boy, do I feel that. Oh.
Like those were the biggest survival things. I still catching myself, like I'm still catching old remnants of me or whatever, when I'm going through positive affirmation or whatever and I'm feeling good, and it'll be like just this negative thought that came out of nowhere. And of course, I shut it down immediately or whatever. But I'm like, dang, why you keep trying to resurface? Literally, like. But so I still got remnants that still keep trying to knock on the door and enter back, but mainly surviving myself.
Yeah, I can receive that completely. I swear I can, because at the end of the day, I feel myself keep resurfacing things that are of me too. Negative is so quick to respond, so quick to be knocking on my door. Even though I'm such a positive individual. Golden Eagle, can you relate to that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I'm a firm believer that um both sides positive and negativity is equal. It just depends on what side that you reside on. But it seems like it's so much easier to get into that door of negativity than positivity. Like the door of negativity has no locks. No, it's really cracked open so you can just walk in, and it's like the door of positivity has 20 locks and you got to figure out the combination of the last one. Whatever. It's like it's weird.
No, I get that. I feel that. I feel that. My friend D Beats, love him dearly, and has been dealing with this depression off and on forever. And I'm talking forever, before he even met me. And I've known him now for a few years, but like at the end of the day, he said he tried taking himself out 22 times and it still hasn't won. And suffering is constantly on his shoulder, and it hurts for me because I can't do anything. I can't get him to change how he feels. I can't get his mind to stop feeling this way. I can't get him to see how amazing he is. And that's the thing with depression, in those dark moments. You feel those. No one else can feel those for you, and no one can talk you out of feeling those.
Yeah.
That's how I felt when several days ago I was in the car with a close friend. No need to speak on name or whatever, but in the car, close friend. I'm not paying attention to his conversation, but because there's no music on, I can't help but to tell that he's going through something wet. Don't know. He didn't have a conversation with me, so it wasn't for me to worry about. But somewhere in the conversation, it went from I'm tired of what's going on, where whatever was going on or whatever, and whoever he was on the phone with, I could tell by his response though they was helping him come up with a revenge tactic, and he was like, "This is what I live for. Oh yeah, I can't wait. Oh yeah, I'm Mr. Petty and da 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 da." And I, like the conviction in his, "This is what I live for." He didn't understand that immediately right there. I was like, "This why you keep going through shit, because you live for the revenge. So life got to keep giving you this bullshit so you'll be able to have your revenge."
Yeah.
And it just blew my mind, like just right there, just minding my business. Like soon as he said it, his conviction was so strong. I was like, you don't even know how you bringing negativity on yourself.
Yeah. KC says, anxiety, which comes from fear, a low vibration. And anxiety is tough too. A lot of people don't realize what the anxiety stems from. It's not even just a low vibration. It is fear, but it's more than just a low vibration. That anxiety was my best friend at one time. It was such a best friend of mine that it was giving me attacks constantly, panic attacks, constantly. Anytime I felt trapped, because I started getting claustrophobic and everything, that anxiety really won until I learned how to control it. And that was a hard thing to do. I mean, I had to stop myself in the middle of it And then I had to go from stopping myself in the middle of it to stopping myself before it happens, to be able to stop it before it even wants to happen. Now that I have the control and emotional regulation, I can stop and not even have an anxiety attack or panic attack. But yet, at one time in my life, the ambulance would come and pick me up because I would pass out from hyperventilating because it was so extreme for me, until I realized that I could control it. And I'm not saying everybody can at all. And I'm not saying everybody should. But at the end of the day, when your back's against the wall and you have no other choice, I think that's when you have to stand up and choose it. You know, I don't know. I'm just saying, but I'm glad we're talking about this though, because same scars, different timeline really means not everybody's going to go through it the same way. Golden Eagle, have you dealt with anxiety?
Oh yeah, yes, I have. I think probably more in the recent couple years, but also honestly, I was just talking about this. I didn't even realize it when I like early adulthood. I would have like panic attacks going to the hospital, and I didn't even realize like I didn't make the connection until I gained the understanding. I had a pretty my brother. He was severely burned when I was really young. I was like 6 years old. And he was my big brother, man. I loved him. He was severely burned. He was in the burn unit in the ICU, and he had been up there for a couple weeks. And I had to battle with my parents because I just wanted to go to the hospital and see my big brother, man. I just wanted to see my brother. I just wanted to know he was all right. And my parents kept telling me, trust me, son, you don't want to see him right now. And I ain't like quite grasped because I was only, like I said, I might only been like 5 actually, but I was pretty young, but I wasn't quite understanding what they were saying. And then we got there and I saw him, man, and I was so shook just seeing how bumped up he was. It scared me. I mean, as a child, it scared me horribly, man. And I didn't realize until I was probably about 30 years old how that moment traumatized me so badly that as an adult, I couldn't walk into a hospital without having panic attacks or anxiety attacks. I started to get kind of that started to ease once I made the connections and started understanding where that was coming from. But for years I had no I couldn't even make sense of it. All I knew because I didn't even really, other than walking into a hospital, I didn't deal with anxiety. But as soon as I walk into a hospital, it's hard to breathe. I'm feeling claustrophobic. I'll get shaky, and I couldn't. Like I said, for years, man, it didn't even make sense until I just at one point, man, I think actually I had a conversation with my wife, my ex-wife at the time, or my wife at the time, a conversation about that happening, and that's when it kind of clicked. Like that's probably why I get so shook when I walk into the hospitals. But
Yeah.
like I said, I'm walking in the hospital now and it's no issue, you know what I mean? But like I said, it took a long time for it to click that it was the childhood trauma, because that was a real traumatic experience, seeing my brother like that in that condition, man. That was scary. And so
Um,
yeah, I definitely have.
Casey says, hold on, SGF Graham, real quick. Casey says, put you in a dark place. And entities feed off that energy and draw near to you. Oh, I
Mhm.
agree completely. What do you think, SGF Graham?
I definitely agree with KC on negative and positive. That was actually what I was about to ask. What's the difference between anxious and anxiety, besides one is usually used with negativity and the other one is used with positivity? Because I have dang near a bit like when I auditioned for Def Jam. Man, that anxious feeling felt just like the anxiety that almost drove me to the hospital. Like
Hmm.
I just kept grabbing at my chest, like, oh snap, like just knowing that this was about to happen or whatever. I knew like 3 weeks out. Oh my goodness, that was the most that anxiety feeling, but for a positive in a positive way or whatever. And I just looked them up and they basically the same word, just one a noun and one an adjective, and it said the same thing or whatever that anxious is used more for positive and anxiety is used for negative. So would y'all consider them equal negative positives? Like how would
I
you
I would
Yeah,
agree. I would agree.
yeah, yeah. I mean, anxiety is anxiety, whether it's because of a positive thing or a negative thing.
Yeah,
It's,
I believe they're both positive
yeah.
negatives to each other. Yeah.
so on the positive side, do you feel like it has to be calibrated just like the negative side, or would you let that flow? Like I could probably go to Gemini S, but I like the human, back and forth. Like what
I
would
think
you
it's
do? Try to
triggered the same.
recalibrate it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's triggering the same. I think the anxiety of the positiveness, if it gives you the same outcome as the negative of the anxiousness of anxiety, I do believe that you have to calibrate it out. It's like a balance
So
because
you
I
don't
can
think
feel my. Go ahead.
so the anxiety going negatively, would you think that that would negatively push whatever you're manifesting into like hyperdrive? Wouldn't that also be for the positive side? I'm asking
No,
because they don't.
I don't think so. I,
And,
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think that way because well, it depends because it's just the same thing as dominant frequency. It the same as the 369. So it's almost similar to that. So you may be correct.
I feel like, yeah, it just depends on how you deal, how it's dealt with, or how you respond or react to it. How you allow it to affect you. And obviously,
No,
finding that balance, balancing it out one way or another is really the
what
only,
what
you
S.
know.
Chef Graham was asking was hyper focused. If you're hyper focused on it, it would equal the same as manifestation as
Oh,
it
okay.
would the panic attack. And I'm
Yeah, I
agreeing.
mean, yeah, if you hyper focus on it, you can just magnify it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like case point, the first time I seen my kids since they were 8 and 9 was when they were 18 and 19,
Mm,
and know that I was gonna see them and we was going to Carowinds and stuff. It drew so much anxiety, and then having
Yeah.
fun with them on top of it was dope. And then my brain took off onto the how grand the next X amount of years is finna be. And no lie, my heart did not stop. I don't know what my heart was doing or whatever, like through the anxiety of all this happy thoughts I had. And I literally went to the emergency room one night, like 3 days later, because it was still feeling jittery. And they basically said I had hyper something or whatever, basically low blood pressure. But once I recalibrated my thoughts and I went back to the doctor, my blood pressure was just fine.
do you see what Casey said?
Anxiety stands for fear, which triggers it, but where your vibrations are at will reveal what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I
Does
get
that make
that.
sense?
I mean, yeah, it makes sense, but it did. I mean, I see what he's saying about anxiety or whatever, but I was like talking about the comparison of both or whatever. So I would obviously take that if that's the answer for the negative, then that would also be the answer for the positive.
That's what I'm agreeing. That's what I
So,
think too.
okay.
Because it's no different than the dominant frequency, I believe, of the 369. Focus on what your dominant frequency is and only focus on positively on that. That's how it's supposed to manifest into reality, which I'm agreeing on because I've had it happen. So when I did my 3-day dominant in case he said correct. And when I did my 3-day dominant frequency focus, I focused on a bus the whole time. Then I had shared this. I was trying to share this with SGF Graham before I told everybody, but I hadn't been able to. But so when I got done with the interview, I talked to them, and I stayed in there for like 45 minutes speaking to them. And they said to me, the guy said, I said to him, I'm all about barter. I'm all about barter. So let's just talk about this. I'm all about barter. Anything I could do for you, you may have something in return for me. And I said, I'm looking for a bus. And he's like, you don't know what I do you? And I said, no, not really. And he said, I have a bus for you. And I'm like, cool.
Either I got deja vu or you already told me on the phone.
You got deja vu.
Because I was really wondering. I was like, she had something else happen besides the bus.
I didn't get to tell you that on the phone because it just happened.
I swear on everything I love, you told me. I'm talking about you like deja vu or whatever. Like this all exact. In fact, I want to say I even told. Did I tell you that she might be getting that bus?
I heard it.
Yeah, hey, it's amazing.
No, because it just happened on Tuesday before the show.
I'm ahead of you there. I done quantum leap. Well, so that means I need to tell you the lottery numbers and then meet up with you. Because I got the lottery numbers for next week for you.
Okay, do that. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, I promise you, it just happened Tuesday before the show. And I didn't mention it on the show.
Yeah, I already knew though. Whatever. Hey, the universe back on my side. All right, let's go.
I'm trying to tell you though. I've been trying to tell you for 2 days now.
I already knew. I'm
mad.
I just want to mention this because I feel like it's kind of been mentioned a couple times already with the negative thoughts, negative energy, or I think somebody else mentioned negative entities, and I keep thinking I've been thinking about this actually a lot this last week. But SGF, you remember that video you sent me about a month ago? The dude was talking about how he said something to the extent of how 90% of negative thoughts enter our mind, and so they don't even really come from us. They come from outside and come into us. And like I said, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, man, because really I've thought about that video a lot since you sent it to me. Like I kept it in my mind really hard. Like there's another part in that video that dude says, best way to gives advice about how to protect ourselves from that and come up with like a bouncer in our mind to defend or fend off all those negative vibes, negative thoughts, and how and protect ourselves from those negative entities that will throw these negative thoughts and vibes into our own mind. And I don't know, just again, that's just come to me a few times already because the word negative has been mentioned more than once. Yeah. I produced a bouncer in my mind about a month ago when you sent me that video. That's Jeff. He's a cross between Bruce Lee and Kung Fu Louie. but he's up there just swear to God, he's up there just like whoop, whoop. Like blocking them left and right, man. But before I watched that video, man, I hadn't really thought about it like that, and how much negativity I've allowed to enter my life simply through my own thoughts. And man, that video was really good, man. It was deep.
Man, I turned mine into like some smooth player shit talker or whatever, like soon as the negative thought, I don't even entertain it. I just stop and be like, who invited you? Why are you here? Whatever, like get the hell on or whatever,
Right.
I actually talk to it like
Yeah, I just got, like you said, my man's up there throwing taekwondo left and right, just boom, boom, knocking them right out the box, man.
Yeah, that's too funny.
So let's get to the next question. Have you ever felt pressured to heal faster than you were ready to?
Ooh.
Golden Eagle.
I don't think so. I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. I've always been on my own time, on my time kind of guy. It didn't matter what it was, even a doctor's appointment. I'll be 15 minutes late. Like, it's cool. I'll get there when I get there. And I think that's the same thing for my growth and my healing too. It's like, man, I know I'm gonna get there when I get there. I can't get there on somebody else's time. So, and on top of that, like I mentioned before, the whole pressure thing. Uh, I'm good under pressure. Like that. That's probably the only time I feel like I somehow kind of block the pressure out. I don't look at pressure like pressure. I don't know. I don't feel pressure like that. I'm not pressured easily anyway.
How about you guys in the chat? Have you ever felt pressure to heal faster than you were ready to? SGF Graham, how about you?
Oh, I pressured myself because I ain't like how slow it was going till I
Okay.
realized that that was actually working against me because then I wasn't believing in it because I couldn't push it. I
Okay.
realized I had to bow down. I had to bow down to patience.
Okay. Kendall Cobb, how about you? Have you ever felt pressure into healing quicker? Oh, go ahead. Say it, Kendall. I love it in the chats, though, too. It helps with engagement.
Oh, most definitely, especially after having multiple surgeries, you get forced to heal. You have no choice. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm sick of that too, but it's okay. We're all pressured either way.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree. I do believe that I've been felt pressure to heal. I'm not gonna allow it to affect me, but I have felt it. People don't realize what healing does consist of, I guess. They feel that I'm gonna make an assumption and it may not be accurate, but at the end of the day, all I can is assume for how I perceive it, if that makes any sense to people. I'm not making an assumption because I don't have no baseline. I'm only making this assumption by what was given to me on the table. So I have no choice but to assume this. At the end of the day, I feel that because people are going through something right then and there, they expect you to also be going through something. And then when you're not going through it because they don't see the severity of it, and you're healing in your time healing it as graceful as you give yourself, that you are able to completely heal from it, people feel that, well, it's not that big of a deal, you should already been healed over that, because they're not going through it. Make sense?
Oh yeah.
SGF Graham, makes sense?
Oh yeah. I look at healing like um let's say an NBA player tears a ligament, tears that tendon or that ligament in their knee. In order to mostly heal from whatever emotional you're going through, let's say you're going through depression, you have to strengthen your happiness, your what you focus on, what you listen to, what you think of. You gotta strengthen everything around the depression just so you can get out of the depression. Just like when you tear a ligament or tear a tendon, you got to strengthen up your knees, your calf muscles, your thighs. You got to strengthen everything around it just so that can maintain the strength that it used to have or whatever. And I look at going through the spiritual rehab like that or whatever, and people just they see depression and they be like, okay, I'm not depressed, I'm not depressed, and they think if they tell themselves that it works or whatever. No, now you gotta focus on everything that's not dealing with depression, not focus on depression or whatever. So to me, I feel like that made sense to what you was talking about and agreeing with what you was talking about. That's how I
Okay.
look at it.
Yeah. And I can use it in another layman's term where people might overstand it a little more. Death, grieving. People grieve differently. Not everybody's going to grieve for something the same way. An owl took and ate my cat after I had to have an abortion because the baby was growing in my tubes. This was a long time ago. My son was 10. Now he's 34. So it was a long time ago. And I cried over that cat and the loss of my dog more than I cried at the loss of my parent. And longer. And a lot of people didn't realize that, it hit me differently. So they're just like, it was just a cat. Why are you still crying over it? It was just a dog. They didn't realize what that represented to me. So I think that people are passing judgment upon other people about what they're dealing with internally and what they want and what they need, and not really looking at the other person about what is affecting them. So, what Casey said, I can't read it. It says, patience and serenity. I had to relearn, which felt like I had to do this in some way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. People, I've had so many people say this: tomorrow's not promised. So what I want today, I'm going to fight for it. When, okay, that's like a double negative to me. So I agree with that. But then again, I can't completely agree with that because not everything's done in our time. Sometimes you have to give it to the Most High, whatever you believe in, whatever you call the great I am. You have to give it to them, and you have to realize that sometimes it's not your time. Just because you want it done today doesn't mean it's going to be done today. So patience and serenity, huge, 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 huge. Next question. What experience changed your life, although nobody else realized that at the time? Golden Eagle.
I mean, I've had a handful of them, but obviously the one fresh in my mind is one I was just discussing the experience seeing my brother as a kid in the condition he was in. That definitely had a huge effect on me. Like I said, I didn't realize the effect it had on me until 25 years later, really. But that's one. I'm not going to give the whole list of every one of them.
Kendall Cobb, what about you?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
What experience changed your life, although nobody else realized it at the time?
Can I just say the whole dang thing? Every little detail, every aspect that's been happening. Yeah. I'm still existing, though. That counts.
SGF Graham, what happened? No. What experience changed your life, although nobody else realized it at the time?
Growing up too fast. With my mom having me at a young age, and a lot of people having their hands on me, I had way more responsibility. I should have shut up. Like, let's put it this way. When I was 12, 13, I successfully watch and cook and clean for like 5, 6, 7 kids. Like I've had adults walk up to me like wondering was I some young parent because these kids was listening to another kid. That's part of the reason why I'm so aggressive, because in order to make that happen, you got to be aggressive. But that was like the responsibility they put on me. If they got in trouble, I got in trouble, and that type of vibe or whatever. So I almost really didn't know how to don't know how to have fun when I go out. When I'm out with my homeboys, I feel like they my responsibility. When I'm out with people, they my responsibility. So I can't really feel loose because of the way I was raised. So that's one bothering thing about me.
I can't pinpoint it down to one thing, to be honest with you. I really can't. There were so many things that affected me as I got older, and I didn't realize it. I'm going to say probably my mom getting rid of our stuff. My dad, because she was mad at my dad. My dad worked, and he owned a bar, he owned real estate and all this stuff, and my dad would always buy us the nicest stuff. And after he bought it, my mom would go give it away and sell it to the neighbors. We come home from school one time and my whole bedroom set, my dad just bought my sister and I on bunk beds and stuff like that. We were so excited. All gone. And we were sleeping on the floor that night. And I think that right there really made it why I don't attach myself to materialistic things. Because I've never held nothing sentimental, because I never had anything last in my life. That's therapy for you, because I never thought of that until just now. Go ahead.
Well, since you just thought of that just now, I guess, because this was my next question, was that did you think that was done in spite of y'all or in spite of him?
I think both. I think both. I think one, she only had a parent to entrap, she only had children to entrap him, and thinking he would stay with her and stay there with her, that he didn't. And I think that that was out of spite of both.
Dang, I'm glad you pulled through that or whatever. I see that entirely too much. I'm shocked, and I'm still kind of shocked when I hear that people actually had jealous parents. And I thank God I didn't have to. Well, as far as I know, I didn't have to deal with that.
I would never have thought of that until just this moment, only because it never weighed on me. And she was extremely jealous of us, extremely jealous of us. Well, me per se, for real, a lot. And that's why she kept taking me back to my dad's. And she didn't want to keep me because of it. And Shanti said, I was almost, I'm going to say unalived so we don't get in trouble. I was almost unalived, and I still wake up having nightmares because it feels so real. I wake up with my heart racing, tears in my eyes, etc. It's like I disconnected for a while, and now that I go through it, I haven't had a regular dream in years, and if I do, it's me. I can tell you how I can relate to that, because I used to have this ongoing dream, nightmare per se, every single night. And my dad's place was on fire. His business was on fire. And this is before it caught on fire. His business was on fire, and I was running in slow motion. And they were throwing rocks at me, and I couldn't get away. And I never knew what that meant. Never knew what that meant. And then his place caught on fire. And then I begged for my life in front of my grandchild. And he was 4 years old. And a guy was literally on top of me, really just taking my life from me. He dislocated my shoulder, fractured or broke my nose, crushed my esophagus. I mean, he was just, and I was in and out of consciousness, and I just kept begging for life, begging for life. I don't let that affect me anymore, because I gave it away, for one, and for two, I can't allow him to have that power over me to hold on to that energy of defeat, because it didn't defeat me. And I appreciate life more. Doesn't mean that that's not any less than what you're going through, and that is not, this is definitely scary. I just want to give you hope that you'll be able to get through that. You will. And what helped me was getting inside my head by doing my hair, because meditating really did help me, and sitting in my soul and talking to myself and realizing it wasn't me. Nothing happened to me. It only happened for me. And I had to figure out what that meant. And now I can receive what it meant. So, not lessening anything you went through, because I feel your empathy for that. Go ahead, SGF Graham.
Hey, what is it, Ashanti King?
Yes.
Hey, here's something to try. Next time you feeling sleepy, like during the day, you want to take a nap. Um, hold something like a remote control, not your phone. You know, you don't want to break your phone, but hold your remote control or something that has a little weight to it in your hands while your hand is hanging off the couch or the bed, whatever. You know, it gives a little weight to your hand, whatever. When it, as you start drifting off, constantly think, I'm a fighter that wins. I'm a fighter that wins. When you drift off, whatever you're holding, you're going to drop it and it's going to slightly wake you up. Again, start thinking, I'm a fighter that wins. What you're doing is you're staying in your theta stage, which controls your subconscious. And your subconscious is where it's winning at. Whatever. Also, look up renewing the mind. You don't have to let it win. You're the winner in this situation. You just gotta believe it first.
And I need to let you know though, Ashante, what helped me stop having those dreams is when I stopped having the panic attacks from this, from what happened to me afterwards. I stopped having those dreams that I could not get away because I eventually in my dream I literally turned around and grabbed one of the rocks out of the air that they were throwing at me. And then all of a sudden I stopped having those dreams. So I'm agreeing with what SGF Graham said and what KC said and Kendall said. Kendall, go ahead.
I already lost my train of thought 5 seconds ago, but it's okay.
No, it was in it's in the chat. My dad loved.
Oh, right, that part. Yeah. He was also very abusive when I was a child too. He did everything and anything he could once upon a time just to get the type of jealousy and vengeance and control once upon a time. And it no longer serves a purpose at this point in time in my life. So that being said, you got to move forward and just do the best you can. Minus dogs barking in the background.
And then Casey Wood said, you're so detached and leaves when it takes in too much negative energy. I can agree with that. Yeah, go ahead.
What KC at? Tell KC to pull up on the podcast.
Casey, do you want a link to join? I'm not gonna tell. I'm gonna ask.
Yeah. I know it's just a few minutes left, but he ain't said nothing that was out of whack or
No.
anything or whatever.
No, you should hear his music too. He's a dope artist. KC, would you like to join the show? We have a few minutes. See what he says. So
I'm sorry, but hold on. So he's pretty dope.
yes.
That's a reference from Tuesday.
I was letting her live with the pretty dope. I was letting her live today. I like that. We go again.
Pretty dope.
That on purpose. I'm pretty dope. That CRACK ain't got nothing on me.
So what did he say? He said what? Oh, it's too noisy where he's at the moment. He said this. What's that say? It says, it leaves to other dimensions and realms. I can't join at the moment. I'm around noise. Yeah, I feel that.
Let's join Tuesday or Thursday then, and let's talk about some quantum leaping.
Yes, I need Casey to join anyhow. So if you guys don't know, go search Polo Bleeze. I'm just saying, go search Polo Bleeze.
Okay.
Send me the link. You know, ADHD don't work like that.
I feel that. So, Ashanti, do you think that there are different realms? Yes. I watch myself walking away in my sleep, but it's telling me to come and be scared to go. So I try waking up. Usually I have to pray to wake up. I don't want to go to no other dimensions. I feel crazy. We go to dimensions all the time. Us coming back here is teleportation. Every time we wake up and come back to this reality, we have skipped timelines and dimensions. So you're not wanting to do it, you do it all the time. All the time. Every time you come back to this reality. She said, I knew it. I just don't want to sound crazy, but it's real. No, it's real. Now I'm scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. So, anyways, next time you're in your dream state and you honestly feel like somebody's gonna unalive you again, grab whatever they're holding and turn it on them. Don't use it on them, but just say you don't have that power over me, because all you're doing is facing your fears. You're facing what you're afraid of, and you're not allowing it to become you. Our purpose here in this reality is to break generational trauma. That's what it is. Stop to stop the cycle, continue the loop. Is to break it and to free yourself from yourself, because we hold ourselves back constantly from survival mode and fear. So I'm going to ask one more question, or I know we're getting on time. So this says, what helped you keep going during one of the hardest seasons of your life? Golden Eagle.
You guys,
Ah,
really. I mean, it wasn't just what a couple, 2, 3 months ago when I was invited to join, but I was at the end stages of some really hard times, and yeah, and so I don't even like talking about it honestly, just because.
okay.
Well, in fact, honestly, it's for no other reason than there's no good feelings when I think about it, and I don't even want to give those negative thoughts or feelings energy. I can't, I can't. If I do, then it's just gonna make me, it's just gonna turn me back into the old me, and I ain't like that guy too much, and so yeah. So that's the biggest reason I try not to speak on it honestly, because I can't dwell in negative thoughts, feelings. I ain't got time for that anymore, man. I
Feel
got
that. I feel that.
that's why we end when we do our positive message. It's why I stick with love, because I know I gotta put as much of that out as I can, man, because I need it too, So, yeah, you
In
guys,
case,
thank you.
oh, thank you. And Casey says, you have to recall your power back and own it. Yes, Ashante, you have to. You have to. Because you got to remember one thing. Nothing happens to you, it only happens for you. Even the dark stuff, even if it makes no sense. Even if it makes no sense, I promise you, we meet the people in our lives for a reason, and I'm gonna stick with this until the day I no longer can. Anything that triggers us is usually something we have to heal within ourselves. So when we reflect something onto someone else and we see something that's bothering us through someone else, it's because something we have to fix within ourselves. So everything's inward. Everything's inward. Love, healing. She wants to know, how do you do that? She said DM her. How do you take your power back? Can't say it's easy. SGF Graham, how does she take her power back?
Be intentional. Um, one of the greatest One of the greatest things that's slept on. I have like a thousand index cards. Every night before I go to bed, I write down a bunch of I am, and I will. And when I wake up, before I even touch my phone or anything, I write down a bunch of I am, I will. I don't care if it's the same ones. I write them down over and over, and then after I write them down, I repeat them. I hate to say the only way, but I'm going to say it. The only way to take your power back is to renew your mind.
There,
I can send you simple links through Miss Kimberly, and you know we can get them to you, and they're easy to apply, no
or
matter
you can,
what religion or anything you fall under.
or you can add her. Remember, you want to do music with her anyhow.
I'm just talking. Who are we talking about?
We're talking about Cash Roulette, Ashante King.
Okay. I was about because at the end of the day, I don't care who I'm helping. So my bad,
Yeah,
my bad. Okay. Well, oh yeah, send me a friend request.
because you want to do music with her anyhow. So yeah, perfect.
Yeah, SGF Graham, send it to SGF Graham, my music page.
Hey, and really, that 12 rounds was hot.
Yeah.
Oh
It
yeah,
was really. Shante, just so you know, yeah, you got a fan with me, and for real, because that I really like that one. Yeah,
And you know what?
you two get something together, man. Yeah,
And
that'd be sweet, man.
you know what helped me, Ashante? You know what helped me, honestly? Like Casey's saying right in the comments. What helped me though is command it, my spoken words. I started doing the spoken words, and once I started doing the spoken words, I was sending my intention outwardly. That means I was speaking power over myself. I stopped looking at myself for a whole year in the mirror one time. And that's before I started this, when I started my 40-day fast and I started my healing journey. And that helped me because I started looking through my heart's eyes instead of my human eyes, because my human eyes were still stuck in survival from what other people said to me, that they weren't properly seeing me. So command that back. Command it. All contracts, all soul ties, everything against you no longer serves your greater good. Cut them off. Pretend you have a pair of scissors in your hand, golden scissors in your hands, and cut them off. And then start with your right arm, go down your left side, go to your left arm, down your right side, and then back to your right arm, down your left side, and remove all energy that's no longer yours. Wipe it off. But only 3 times, and start with and end with your right side. Go ahead, SGF Graham.
and another simple thing you can do. All those people you know that you expect to give you positivity. You know that positivity come with a butt. Cut them off. This is the time you literally want to be around every last one of them yes men. Not because they fooling you. Whatever you know, the the mind doesn't know what's real or what's fake. So once the mind see that all these yes men are agreeing with you, no matter if you know it's BS, they just riding with you because they riding your wave. It's gonna keep sending more of that to you because you're appreciating it. And then
Mm-hmm.
eventually you get to vet them and pick out the strong ones and get rid of the ones that you know was just riding the wave because you was taking them somewhere they ain't never been. But at the end of the day, they don't have no intentions for you. But you know, this is the moment right now where you fool your mind, you fool the universe because it doesn't know what's real or what's fake. That's why you can have a dream or a daydream and then somebody snap you out of it and you be like, oh snap, I forgot I was even here. Your thought felt so real or whatever, you know, because that dream, your mind doesn't know the difference. So take advantage of that.
Also, I want you to look at your daughters when they're sleeping and realize it's your job to break generational trauma and curses. It's your job. So then you need to say that prayer. When you become friends with S.Jeff Graham, he's going to give you the prayer of the gates. Give her the prayer of the gates so she can say that about her generational. It stops at her, okay?
Oh, the iniquities and stuff. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Courtroom. I got you. I got you.
Okay. So you have to listen to Kevin Gates. He's serious when he said certain things he says. You have to really command it and say no soul ties. Nothing, if it doesn't serve your betterment of your good, of your greater higher self, remove that. Break that contract, because I'm telling you, we signed up for this. Our soul did. Because this is the hardest school we ever could go to learn the lesson, to free ourselves from ourselves. We asked for this. All those people that end up hurting us in life, we asked for them to do it, because there's the only way we're going to learn is through them, or we would never have learned the lesson we had to learn to free ourselves. It's all about freeing yourselves from yourself, because your mind is entrapment. It's a prison if you allow it to be. Now you can utilize it, what it's supposed to do, and you listen to your heart's mind and your stomach's mind. That's where the real brain is, and start thinking differently. But we're conditioned. They conditioned us on purpose. So, last question. What would you tell someone who feels like they're falling behind in their healing journey? Golden Eagle.
I just tell them, don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. Just understand that it's all in your own time. We all heal in our own way. You just got to you got to be patient with yourself. So.
S.Jeff Graham, what would you tell someone who feels like they're failing in the that feels like they're failing and behind in the healing journey?
I would probably just ask them who they in the race with, and then ask them why and see where we go from there.
Facts. Casey Wood said, once you separate from everything, you will see differently. And you will. Honestly, you will. You gotta realize, though, for real, our mind's a tool. We can shut it off and turn it on whenever we're supposed to. We own it. It does not own us. For real. Our heart and our stomach, that's the real brains. Our intuition, our inner thoughts, our inner knowing. It's not this. That's just a tool for survival. Fight, freeze, or fawn. Remember what we're learned. Systematic learns and laws, because it was programmed to us. But our mind is just a tool. Our real brain, that's what we need to listen to. The tree of life, your heart, the Garden of Eden, it's all within us. So, and you have beautiful daughters, 5 beautiful daughters that you're making a difference for. The time is now. So when I ask, what would I tell somebody who feels like they're failing behind in their journey? Who are you racing? I don't know who you're racing. I'm 51 and I just learned how to love myself 4 years ago. And I'm grateful. I'm honored and I'm grateful. Hold gratitude. No matter what you do, always hold gratitude. It's going to go far, because that's the real currency. That's the real exchange. Hold gratitude. Because my mom, my biological mom, not the lady I call my mom, my biological mom, she passed away. And she was almost 70, I do believe. Well, yeah, almost 70, 60 something when she passed away. And she never learned to love herself. So I'm grateful I did it. I don't care how old I was. I just hope my son does it before he gets to my age. And that's what I push for. So, Kendall, what would you tell someone who feels like they're failing behind in their healing journey?
Don't stop, keep going.
Don't stop, get it, get it. Oh, not that one? Oh.
Well, that could work, one of the two.
Go ahead, Golden Eagle, the reflection.
Maybe tonight's conversation isn't about the scar. Maybe it's about the strength it took to survive it. Maybe it's about realizing that healing doesn't have a deadline. Maybe it's about understanding that that your timeline is your own.
It is your own.
Amen.
Amen. Here's the invitation. Family, if this conversation speaks to you, we're inviting you to share your story. Your opinion matters, your expression matters, and your voice matters. Someone listening tonight may need to hear exactly what you lived through. Join the conversation in the comments, live chat, or by sharing your own reflection. Before we close, remember this. Not only does your opinion matter, so does your story. We're the ears that will listen, and we're the ears that will listen where your opinion matters. Don't just be different, become the difference. I'm going to wait until I finish this off because I want to do the positive affirmations or positive message before we head out. What is your positive message, Golden Eagle?
Positive message is, like I said, I already said it, man. I love you guys.
Kendall, a positive message, not don't stop, get it, get it. For some reason, I always think of Doodoo Brown. I don't even know why, but for some reason, that goes hand in hand with that for me.
And I'm just over here thinking about Baby Shark doo. So it's one of the two with ADHD. It's great. I'm going to look into 1 John 4:18. There is no fear in love.
Okay. SGF Graham, positive message.
I don't know. I don't have one today. Be positive.
It's something about love.
Love is positive. Do that.
My positive message is remember somebody else walking in your shoes wouldn't have done what you've done. And that's a good thing because not every situation is meant for everybody. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for still standing in your shoes and still trying to walk that walk. I'm proud of you for not giving up. I'm proud of you. Look at how beautiful you've done it. Look how beautiful you've done it. I'm proud of you. So, with that being said, until next time, thank you everyone for taking time out of your day to come heal with us. May your night be full of positive energy and high vibrations filled with peace and love. I'll show you everyone.
Peace.
Kendall! She left.
Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is. Where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. Where them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recovered. Yeah. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's so hard to.